They call this aircraft the Buff, Big Ugly Fat Fella or Fellow. What you are seeing is a military aviation icon that simply refuses to retire. Behind the quirky nicknames and dated looks lies the heavy fist of American strategic air power, the USAF B-52 Stratofortress. It is a beast of a bomber, a testament to a bygone era where size mattered. From the deafening roar and the cramped cockpit to its quirky handling, the Buff demands respect and a whole lot of pilot muscle. But what's it actually like to be part of a B-52 flight crew? B-52 bomber wings have a unique mission: strategic deterrence. Part of that means having bombers ready at a moment's notice, crews that can scramble and execute complex missions flawlessly. It is easier said than done because it takes a lot of planning, coordination, and hard work to keep the Stratofortresses on the air.
Release. Weapon play in 2. Switch is safe. 3-way. Yeah, it's actually less than 35 seconds, I don't think about it. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
The B-52 was originally designed as a high-altitude, long-range nuclear bomber, capable of delivering a massive payload of atomic weapons to any target in the world. During its decades of service, it underwent several improvements and modifications, resulting in different variants. The B-52H, the current variant of the bomber, was introduced in 1961 and is still in service today. Yes, the B-52 isn't just an airplane. It's a monument to aerospace engineering. The rows of rivets, the worn paint. This machine tells stories you can almost feel in the air. The B-52H Stratofortress is a testament to imposing scale. It stretches a massive 185 feet from wingtip to wingtip and measures 159 feet 4 inches from nose to tail. Standing 40 feet 8 inches tall, it commands the airspace. Even empty, it weighs an impressive 185,000 pounds. Fully loaded with fuel, munitions, and crew, the maximum takeoff weight balloons to a staggering 488,000 pounds. That's like trying to lift over 120 full-size cars. The B-52H Stratofortress is equipped with 8 Pratt & Whitney TF33P3 turbofan engines, each delivering over 17,000 pounds of thrust. It features 10 internal and 2 external fuel tanks, holding more than 181,000 liters of fuel. This allows the aircraft to fly over 8,600 miles without needing to refuel. When refueled in the air once, its operational range extends to 7,500 nautical miles. Of course, a B-52 bomber wings are nothing without their ground support. We're talking about dozens of dedicated personnel. Mechanics treat these aging birds with a mix of grit and ingenuity, knowing every quirk and potential fault line.
Hang on, I got a knot down here.
Fueling a B-52 is like hydrating a thirsty giant. The team of engineers and technicians dedicates themselves to the detailed maintenance of the aircraft's 8 engines, which need 41 quarts of oil and use up to 20,000 pounds of fuel per hour, even when idling. Their skill and knowledge guarantee that the Stratofortress is prepared for the challenges of every mission, ranging from training drills to actual combat operations, fulfilling its operational needs effectively. Arming crews handle the munitions, their movements a deadly ballet of precision. This is where checklists become lifelines. One mistake could be catastrophic. The B-52H, capable of carrying over 70,000 pounds of weaponry, boasts the broadest array of armaments among combat aircraft. Its nuclear arsenal can hold up to 12 AGM-129 advanced cruise missiles, 20 AGM-86A air-launched cruise missiles, and 8 bombs. For conventional warfare, it is equipped with 8 AGM-86 Harpoon missiles, 4 AGM-142 Raptor missiles, a mix of 500-pound and 1,000-pound bombs totaling 51,500 pounds, 20 AGM-86C conventional air-launched cruise missiles, 12 joint standoff weapons, 12 joint direct attack munitions, and 16 wind-corrected munitions dispensers, showcasing its versatility in payload options for a variety of mission requirements. As you climb the ladder into a B-52, you realize that this old warrior ain't your sleek modern fighter jet. Forget spacious glass cockpits. The B-52 is a time capsule, a mind-boggling array of analog dials, switches, and levers are everywhere. This isn't to say that the B-52H hasn't received a few piecemeal upgrades over the years to keep it fighting fit, but it is still utterly antiquated compared to modern-day 5th-generation aircraft. Key updates include the replacement of old monochrome displays at crew stations with modern multifunctional color displays, or MFCDs, and a substantial enhancement in connectivity, enabling better communication between crew workstations and with ground stations through UHF or satellite communications. Additionally, new digital engine gauges have been introduced, replacing the old analog ones to provide pilots with detailed information on fuel consumption and exhaust temperature for each of the aircraft's 8 engines. This allows for easier monitoring of engine performance and a quicker indication of any issues, aiming to streamline cockpit operations and help pilots concentrate more on the mission at hand. It takes 5 crew members to bring a buff to life. The pilot and co-pilot handle the actual flying, the brawn of the operation. Other than the cockpit windows, under the nose section there are the steerable chin turrets for the electro-optical viewing system, or EVS, which consist of forward-looking infrared or FLIR in the starboard turret, and the low light level television camera, or LLTV, in the port turret. The images from the EVS are displayed on monochrome screens on the flight deck and on the lower deck. The radar navigator and navigator are the brains, plotting courses, juggling old-school instruments with modern GPS and targeting systems. The Offensive Avionics System, or OAS, integrates advanced navigation and bombing technologies, including Northrop Grumman's strategic radar, Honeywell's radar altimeter and inertial navigation systems, Smith's reference system, terrain comparison technology, Teledyne Ryan's Doppler radar, and the IBM Raytheon bombing and navigation system. This setup ensures precise navigation and targeting capabilities. Down below, The electronic warfare officer is the eyes and ears, scanning the electromagnetic spectrum for threats, ready to jam or spoof enemy radar. The B-52H Stratofortress is outfitted with sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities to counteract threats. It includes a system that can recognize and jam multiple types of threats across various bands. The aircraft also features a digital warning receiver capable of identifying up to 16 radar signals between 2 GHz and 18 GHz, and a jammer which provides comprehensive protection in several radar bands. Moreover, the B-52H has an EW system designed to generate multiple false targets and a noise jammer for additional defense. The tail warning set offers pulse Doppler threat warning, enhancing the aircraft's defensive capabilities. For further protection, the B-52H is equipped with infrared flare dispensers and 8 chaff dispensers to counteract infrared and radar-guided threats, respectively. Missions can stretch well over 24 hours. There are no hot meals and comfy bunks on a buff. Crew members rotate positions for combat fatigue, snatching moments of rest in cramped corners. They keep their minds sharp with complex checklists, radio calls, and constant monitoring of instruments. The camaraderie on a B-52 crew is forged by the shared pressure of keeping this aging legend ready for anything. When the engines start, the entire plane vibrates, and the smell of jet fuel hangs heavily. You can get a primal sense that this machine, designed for war, is itching to be unleashed. And let's not forget the noise. Soundproofing is an afterthought in a B-52. It's a constant, bone-rattling symphony of engine roar and vibrations that seep into your very soul. The crew wears the best noise-cancelling headsets money can buy, but even then, some describe feeling the sound more than actually hearing it. Taxiing a B-52 is its own special challenge. The B-52's landing gear features a bicycle setup, differing from the common tricycle arrangement found in most large aircraft. This design includes 2 main wheel sets aligned in tandem along the fuselage, rather than one at the nose and 2 under the wings. This bicycle configuration was chosen to maximize internal fuselage space for a large bomb bay and to distribute the aircraft's weight evenly along its length, enhancing its capability to operate from less ideal airfields. Well, this unique landing gear makes it handle like a runway shopping cart on ice. It takes every ounce of a pilot's skill just to keep the aircraft on the runway. Then comes takeoff. This isn't the graceful leap of a fighter jet. It's a lumbering, ground-shaking struggle against gravity. But once those wheels leave the tarmac, something shifts. The buff settles into its true role, the long-range bomber. Now, a B-52 wasn't designed to dance through dogfights. Its domain is the long haul. Those massive wings, originally intended for high-altitude Cold War bombing runs, provide immense lift. Turning a B-52 is like steering an overloaded semi-truck. Banking requires patience and a healthy dose of anticipation. Forget the snappy rolls of modern fighters. The massive spoilers on top of its wings do the job, but not with any sense of finesse. Nimble isn't a word anyone uses for this bomber. Being a B-52 pilot is about calculated action, not hotshot reflexes. It's working in sync with the co-pilot, navigators, and the electronic warfare officer. Each crew member plays a vital role, their tasks interwoven in a symphony of procedures and checklists. There's no room for lone wolves up here. Succeeding means relying completely on your crewmates and their expertise. Now let's talk about refueling. Aerial refueling takes immense skill from both the buff pilot and the tanker crew. Maintaining formation is key, and the slightest misalignment could turn ugly quickly. For the B-52 crew, it's all about smooth inputs and constant communication, especially with the addition of that long refueling boom in the mix. The B-52 might be old, loud, and a handful to fly, but for those entrusted with its power, well, there's simply nothing else quite like it. After what feels like an eternity, the sight of the runway brings a mix of relief and adrenaline. Landing the B-52 is just as much of a challenge as taking off. When they finally shut down those engines, the sudden silence is almost deafening. But the mission isn't over. Ground crews swarm the bomber, starting the meticulous inspection process. The air crew huddles in a debrief, dissecting every moment, always focused on improvement, ready for the next time the call might come. This concludes our episode on B-52 operations. So what do you think about these remarkable bomber aircraft? What other pieces of military hardware would you like us to cover in our future episodes? Also, if you were lucky to see one of the B-52s up close, or better yet, served as a flight or ground crew member, please comment.